Hey guys, Matthew here. So today I'll be bringing you a little bit of an informative video on how to take care of the bleeding slash freeze problem whenever it comes to running the Divination Discia. So ever since I've been running this build, this version of the build with Divination Discia and Blue Dream and all that, I've been having a few deaths more than normal, and all of those were linked to unidentified strongboxes freezing me and my Mirage Archer not being up, which meant I instantly died because I have a very small life pool and very tiny bit of effective health. So I was wondering, how to fix that, and I never really knew about anything to fix the problem. So I had to give up, the freeze flask and run the staunching flask to help with bleeding, because bleeding is more of an issue than freezing is when it comes to mapping. At least when you're running with, 80% cold res with survivalist and divination discia bringing you to 80 cold res, then freeze is never an issue, except, like I said, in terms of strong boxes. But yesterday I was running a temple and a rare jewel dropped, and it was a corrupted temple, so the jewel was corrupted and it had an implicit, which was corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you. And that got me thinking. So I went on the PoE wiki and looked for that, and basically what that means is you can't bleed. You can get normal bleeding inflicted on you, but what really kills you when it comes to bleeding is the stacks. The corrupted blood, which goes up to 20 stacks, and whenever you move, you just instantly die. Well, if you get that implicit on a jewel, then a single jewel can take care of all your bleeding problems, and you don't have to run it on your flask anymore. So I went on the project of trying to craft a jewel with that implicit, and after valing probably about 10 inspired learnings, and quite a few of them bricking into rare jewels, sorry, not rare jewels, but bricking into either rare jewels or unique jewels that were worth like one alchemy, I decided to give up on inspired learnings. I also lost a fair bit of currency trying to get it on a blue dream. That never happened either. And then I was thinking about it, I was like, how can I do this on a more cheaper way, in a cheaper way, and also cheaper for the viewers who are going to want to do this as well, because it allows you to run a freeze flask again, which means you're never having issues with either freeze or bleed, and that is a pretty damn big plus when running this type of build. So what I would recommend to you guys, if you actually want to min-max your character and get that jewel, that implicit on a jewel, like I have it here, corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you. Go ahead and pick up some item level 76 or 77 searching eye jewels, because that's kind of the level where you can roll some pretty decent flat elemental damage rolls, even if they're not T1s. The bases are going to cost you like 1 alchemy to 1 chaos each, versus if you go for like 83, the bases alone are going to cost you 10 chaos, which means it's going to be a lot more expensive, a lot quicker. So if you pick up some item level 76 and 77 bases, just go ahead and spam some alterations on there until you hit like two good mods. Then regal it for a third one. And when I say good mods, I mean anything decent. Like for example, this, as you can see, is T3 lightning damage to attacks, so it's decent. Then T2 lightning damage to bow attacks, and then a little bit of resistance. So it's not a great jewel, it's not an amazing jewel, but it's a decent jewel. Like, at least I get something out of it in terms of the build usage. So it's not like I'm wasting a jewel socket at 100%. So whenever you get jewels like these that have a few combination of rolls that are decent and do something at least for your character, just throw a Val on there and pray to God that you get, the corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you implicit. That being said, I have corrupted a fair bit of jewels, as you can see. It seems to be a pretty damn rare implicit. Like I said, I want to say about 40 jewels altogether. Probably about 40 jewels altogether that I had to corrupt until I hit it, which is kind of funny because I rage corrupted by one of my better jewels, and that's what happened. That's where I got the implicit on my actual pretty damn good jewel. While, it could have bricked, and that jewel would have been like a 5x loss, which would have sucked, but I got lucky. I guess the rage actually, paid off. So that's kind of funny. So yeah, be sure, be safe with your jewels. Don't do like me. Do not corrupt your very good jewels. Just corrupt some pretty crappy ones until you get it. I think it's worth it, even if you have to spend, maybe a couple exalts crafting very crappy jewels that at least do something for your build until you get it. I think if you exalt in trade of like a freeze flask is definitely worth it. And you, who knows, maybe you'll get lucky, and not only will you craft a decent jewel very quickly, but you'll get the implicit after one or two, so you won't actually have to spend all that much. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the video. That's gonna be Matthew signing out, and until the next one, peace out.